Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to another squad builder. Today we have got the best 100k squad builder. We're going to be going through each league, each major league, and at different budgets of 100, 200, 500k. We're going to properly structure it now and go through each team as is, but I'm going to mix the budgets up so we're not always doing like 100k, 100k, 100k. And also, we've changed the way we do the gameplay. We're going to be doing pre-recorded gameplay, and I'll be talking over it with all the information that you'll see over the gameplay. So the gameplay after every squad builder now. So if you do want to see that and are pumped for that, make sure you do like, see if we can smash 100 likes on the video. Make sure you do subscribe as well if you are new to the channel. And let's go and build the team before we go into the gameplay. With the keeper, that is Hugo Lloris. Obviously going for quite a lot of money at the minute because of FUT birthday, going for about 25k. Normally a lot cheaper than this, so you may be able to improve some of the other teams if you want. But this is my 100k team. If you said to me, here's 100k, build the best BPL team, what you think the best BPL team, this is what it is in my opinion. So Lloris is going to be the goalkeeper, fantastic goalkeeper. Right back, Kyle Walker, pretty much the obvious choice for the right back spot, going to be the one that we're going to pick. At centre back, we're going to go with David Luiz, and we're going to go with Chris Smalling. I keep forgetting he's untradeable for me. Yeah, Chris Smalling, two obvious choices for me at centre back. You know, David Luiz for me the best BPL centre back, and Chris Smalling the second best BPL centre back. Pretty much an unstoppable defence and keeper right there, and that's the way the team's going to be. At left wing back, we're going to have Marcos Alonso, probably the best left back now in the BPL. He could go with Luke Shaw. I prefer Marcos Alonso because of his work rates and his height, so he's the one that I would go with if I was picking my team. At CDM, we've got Kante, and the first central midfielder is Jordan Henderson. Kante is somebody that I would only ever play at CDM. I would never play him at centre mid because I don't think as a centre mid his passing and shooting really is not good, and it can really frustrate us sometimes. Henderson's more of a well-rounded central midfielder, so that's why he's going to be playing right there in central midfield. The other midfielder is Gundogan, one of my favourite BPL midfielders. Really love playing with Gundogan. His long shot's phenomenal. The only negative to Gundogan is his stamina. It's really poor, but other than that, he's a phenomenal player if he can play the whole game. Up at left wing, we've got Anthony Martial. Again, probably the best BPL left winger there is, in my opinion. You know, he's really solid. I've played a lot of games with Martial this year. It's an untradeable Martial. I played about 400 games with him, and he's really good. You know, love playing with him. He's one of my favourite players to use. At right wing, we have got Sadio Mane as the right winger. Really good right winger. Obviously got a really nice combination of pace, you know, good shooting, dribbling. Is really strong as well, 75 physical, and is a beast player to have in there. And then to finish the team at striker, it's going to be Gabriel Jesus for me, the only BPL striker that I would go with here. One of my favourite BPL strikers. I love using Jesus, and he's one of my favourite strikers in the whole game. But let's go into the gameplay and see how we got on. So guys, as we go into the gameplay, obviously I'll show you some of the teams that I do come up against, but it was a really fun team to use. You know, it was a really heavily based attacking team. You know, it was kind of all about the attack and scoring lots of goals as they did. You know, it was a really free flowing attack. I obviously tried a couple of formations, as you can see. I started with this 4-3-3-2 formation with the CDM, and again for the last two games I changed to the 4-3-1-2, and I was playing with Martial and Jesus as striker. But you know, to begin with in this 4-3-3-2, it worked pretty well. You know, obviously Kante did a good job at CDM, you know, really intercepting a lot of passes. And the one thing about Kante is I like to play him as a CDM. It obviously has the negative that he doesn't have the height, so from stuff like goal kicks, that's about where the ball goes to, unless somebody pushes it out to one of the wings. If they go up to the striker, typically the CDM's in there, and he's not going to win many headers. But when the ball's on the ground, Kante is unmatched. He really is unmatched. His energy and his positioning is so good, but sometimes there's just some positions where the one thing I don't like about Kante is sometimes he just gets into that box, and you know the ball will fall to him, and you just know that he'll stuff it up and miss, and it might be in a really tight game where you really need a goal, and if it falls to Kante, it's not what you like. My favourite midfielders in this game are Nainggolan and Vidal, because they can do everything. You know, they can play at cam, they can play at CDM if you need to drop into a more defensive formation. One of them can go more attacking. You know, they are all-round midfielders, whereas Kante has such poor passing and shooting that there's a great goal there by Jesus. Well, what a phenomenal finish. But anyway, back onto the team. You know, you can see the best players for me were Jesus and Martial. Both were sensational. Mane, less so, but still quite influential in terms of his assists and whatnot. But Jesus and Martial were just next level. Those two, certainly in the last 2 games when I played them both up front as strikers, were phenomenal. They were genuinely, they just work so well off each other. You know, they've got a good combination of skills and pace and, you know, and strength, and they're just, for Jesus especially, his finishing is genuinely next level. Like the amount of times he got into positions and just finished everything. He missed that one, of course, but most of the time he pretty much finished every single chance he got. I've never used a striker, or I've not used many strikers, certainly as 78 rated, that have the finishing capabilities that he has. What a finish there by Gundogan. A great little worked free kick, a phenomenal finish. But, you know, I've never used a 78 rated striker, such a low rated striker, that's been able to finish as well as Jesus. For me, he really is one of the best BPL strikers for sure. But Martial as well, you know, the one problem I've had with Martial before is I've tried using him when I had Ronaldo and Bale. I was using Ronaldo at striker, Bale at right wing and Martial at left wing, and in that team he was really poor. Probably because he was surrounded by such high rated players that he kind of got outshone, whereas in this sort of team he's kind of on a par with most of the other players, you know, so he's obviously more suited when he's kind of playing with players around his rating, which makes sense. You know, when somebody plays around players their sort of rating, they tend to kind of play really well, and that's the case here with Martial. He was really phenomenal. Defense was pretty solid as well, as always. You know, Smalling, Luiz, Walker and Alonso always solid. Lloris made a couple of nice saves when I needed him to, not too often, but when he had to make saves, he was there. And the midfield was solid. You know, Henderson probably is somebody that should get some credit. I haven't given Henderson any credit, but his energy, and you'll see in a couple of clips time, the last clip, the tackle he makes on somebody just is a perfection tackle, and it really just sums up how well this team played. It really was really fluent. What a finish there by Jesus. Great chip over the keeper, but it was such a good team. Really fun to play with. Really good offense. You know, Gundogan, the only problem with him was his stamina is really poor. So you're gonna need a substitute to bring on for Gundogan. Maybe it's sort of 50 or 60 minutes because he's pretty much out of legs. But the rest of the team is fine for fitness. And here is that tackle coming up from Henderson. This is going to be the end of the gameplay, guys. So let's go into the live section of the end of the video. So there, guys, is the team, and it was phenomenal. I said plenty of times there how much I enjoyed using it. This attack, especially with Jesus and Martial, really deadly. Jesus' finishing is just so good. You know, he's a striker you have to get. He's just so good. One of my favourite strikers this year in FIFA for sure. You know, the whole team was brilliant. Martial, as I say, Henderson was really good. Kante, whilst he frustrates me with his offensive ability, sometimes he goes forward and really does cost you. Defensively, when the ball's on the ground and when somebody's counter-attacking you, there's nobody better in this game than having Kante. Really strong defence as well, but this team was phenomenal. If you want to see more, make sure you leave a like on these squad builders. All your support is most welcome right now. Make sure you subscribe as well if you're new to the channel. That's all today, guys. Have an awesome day. I'm out.